We need to see the Dallas Cowboys take that next step because what they finally do know is it's not about our quarterback.
Yeah.
Stop blaming it on him. It's not his fault. We won't lose because of him. Now, how do we help him get over that hump? And we saw the Philadelphia Eagles do that for Jalen Hurts when he was injured.
You know what they always get wrong? Somehow, the clock is always a problem. So I'm about to do, Cindy Morello is our director. She's the best in the business. I'm about to direct a segment. Cindy, I want to see the sack, the one that we just showed a moment ago, and take the topic bar off the screen because you need to see the clock. You need to see how much time is remaining. So when the sack comes in at the end of the game, when they have the first and goal, this is first down.
Clock it.
He's going to get sacked, okay? Down he goes. At this point, so the clock itself is not on the screen.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of time left in this game. And Greg Olsen is yelling, get back to the line of scrimmage and clock it. They didn't. They raced back. They threw another pass. And that's the reason they only had time for one more play. It was third down when the clock ran out on them. They would have had two more chances. But when this play happens, there's still more than enough time if they clocked it to throw two passes into the end zone. And instead, the clock runs out with them on the 1 yard line. That happens to the Cowboys all the time. Rex, I'm going to blame the coach unless you tell me not to.
No, 100%. And look, you put yourself, even in training camp, you always go situational football, all right? And I can't tell you how many 2-minute against your defense you'll go against.
Right.
One team looked completely prepared for it. That's Philadelphia, right? They know what they got to do in those situations. Dallas has never looked prepared. And that's why I think when it comes down to it, you think they're going to fire Dak Prescott? You think they're going to fire, all these guys? No, they're going to fire the coach. And believe me, that's what it's going to come down to. My biggest problem in this, I think, look, I picked Dallas to win to be in the Super Bowl this year because of two guys they added. Stephon Gilmore, check, he's kicked butt.
Yeah, he has. Yes,
okay.
He has.
Brandon Cooks, what? Where the hell is Brandon Cooks? He should be your second option. I have no idea why he's not.
This is why people hate us, because the Cowboys are just so much fun to talk about. Yeah. And the Philadelphia Eagles aren't fun to talk about this year because it's not as pretty as it was last year.
Right.
Because it's been grimy, right? Because they've been an absolute slugfest, and they just win.
They win.
And we're 9 games deep, and they're the only team in the entire NFL with just one loss. And no matter what, it always seems you can critique them for 3.5 quarters. You can critique them until the 2-minute warning in the fourth quarter, and then they just find a way.
Yeah.
And the 1 week that they didn't find a way, when the Jets found a way to beat them, they put pressure, they turned the football over, and we looked at Jalen Hurts afterwards, and nobody here panicked. We didn't come in here on Monday and say they won't be back. We didn't come on here on Monday and question Jalen Hurts. Michael Parsons actually asked us, why don't we question Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles when they lose or when he turns it over 3 times the way we do the Dallas Cowboys? Because of this. Yeah. Because he got hurt, he was laying on the ground, and all he did on the first drive in the third quarter was make a way. All he did was use his legs to pick up a first down. When he got one-on-one and it was single high, he threw a ball that nobody in the world can throw better. Yeah. Maybe you can throw it just like it, but you can't throw it better. Because when he's been called upon to make plays, he has. When A.J. Brown has been called upon to make plays, he has. We've gotten used to it. And it's sad that we don't talk about it. It's like watching great fighters, and you're like, yeah, I know he's 15. Yeah. We get it.
I'm telling you.
We get it. It's a split decision, but it's great.
There is always this sentiment that we have to figure out a way to make Dallas better. Maybe Philly's just better.
They are this year.
Maybe that's the answer. Maybe the answer last year was the Philadelphia Eagles are the better team in the NFC. And that's okay. Yeah. But let me tell you this, though. And it's always my issue. We for how long I've been doing this job, G, with you? For 4 years. 5 years. We've had constant conversations about what is Jerry going to do? Who's he going to bring in? How is he going to get this team over the top? What's up?
Does the continued growth in their popularity and their money make it okay that they don't go out and make players?
Absolutely. It's the biggest falsehood in the NFL, bro. Give me every Super Bowl team over the last 5 years that didn't make a major move in free agency.
Yeah.
Name one of them.
Yep.
The Buffalo Bills ascended when they got Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
The Cincinnati Bengals drafted Joe Burrow, and that came together. They revamped and spent $100 million on an offensive line. The Kansas City Chiefs went out and got Juju Smith-Schuster. This is the best quarterback in the country.
Philadelphia.
Don't even get me started on Philly.
Hey, Howie Roseman goes do
on
it.
the phone now, trying to figure out how to get this secondary better. And we always sit here and people get mad at me when they talk about, well, you don't think Dallas is good enough, and we don't. Bro, why would I? Yeah. Why would I? Literally what's in front of you and winning Super Bowls, your team is not doing. And I'm mad as hell because I'm a fan of the team. And they will not do what it takes to win a Super Bowl.
Made me nervous.
Situational football.
Right.
That's where the Eagles are better.
Absolutely. And maybe almost all the other teams in the NFL. Hey, the Raiders humiliate the Giants 30-6 in the first game since the firing of Josh McDaniels. And all I could think as I watched this, as I watched the Raiders look like they were playing Pee-wee football again. Like, I never played football, but I can only imagine how much fun it must have been just to play for you guys when you played free and fun and it was a game, it wasn't a business. The Raiders looked like the weight of the world had been lifted off their shoulders. And I thought to myself, that is the most extraordinary indictment. Not the final score, as one-sided as that was, but the way the Raiders looked and reacted was the greatest indictment of anyone I can imagine of Josh McDaniels.
Because they were relieved.
That's what I mean.
He was gone.
Yeah.
Right? I can pick my head up walking around the building. I can actually smile. It doesn't have to be all about business. And hey, newsflash. Look at the Patriot way don't work if you ain't got Tom Brady. It's not a real thing. It's a falsehood. It's called we had the greatest quarterback that's ever lived, the most competitive, the greatest winner. He's shown up. AP is talking. Look at Devontae Adams. I wish y'all had Devontae Adams against Detroit when he was finna cry. He was a grown man that got a $140 million contract that was going to cry because he had to play for Josh McDaniels with Jimmy G. He shakes his head with every word that Antonio Pierce says. You know why? Because you feel like he wants to understand. He wants to relate. And he said, Antonio says after the game, and I hit him up, and he was like, tat, 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 what's happening? He said, I'm so happy for y'all. I'm so happy for the players. Because every coach knows it's about the player.
Ain't it crazy? It's a crazy concept, ain't it? It's unbelievable that if you have guys that are happy to come to work, you'll win games.
Hey, not every coach knows it's about the players. And that's it, man. And so they can breathe. They're sitting back, they played. And you're right, Greeny, the first thing you said about, hey, look, they're having fun.
Right.
That's what this game's about. I don't care that it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. And yeah, business or whatever. Not on that damn field. It should never be about that.
Meantime, we've gone an hour and 23 minutes, and we haven't mentioned the best team in the NFL. That's right, I said it. The Baltimore Ravens obliterated Seattle yesterday, 37-3. They did it every way you can do it. Their defense is dominant. They're running the ball like crazy. Lamar Jackson is Lamar Jacksoning. By the way, if the playoffs began today, and they don't, every team in the AFC North would make the playoffs. But as a testament to just how good Baltimore is, RC, tell everybody what you told me in the meeting.
We had two teams that just visited Baltimore that were trying to teach the world and show the world we're ready to ascend to the top of the NFC. And they both went home bludgeoned. They got beat like 70-something to 9 combined. Yep. If you combine the Seattle Seahawks and the Detroit Lions and you made the Detroit Seahawks, they get their tail blown out too. The Baltimore Ravens have imposed their wills on two of the best teams in the entire NFC, and it wasn't even close. They didn't even show up. And don't tell me it's about travel. Don't tell me it's about Lamar Jackson's ability to play against the NFC. Snoop Hundley came in and threw a touchdown to OBJ on his 30th birthday.
Happy birthday, OBJ.
He got a birthday present.
Belated.
When you look at the Baltimore Ravens and the whole offseason, we talked about the fact that like, it was going to be so fun and they were going to spread it out and they were going to throw it around. No, you know what they're going to do? They're going to make you like it.
Yeah.
75-6 in those two games. Super quick final thought on the Ravens, Rex.
Without question, I agree with you, Greeny. They are the number one team in the league right now.
Number one team in the NFL.